You've seen them all over social media, right? These little hacks that promise to just melt away stubborn belly fat. Well, today, we're taking a closer look. We're putting two of the biggest ones, apple cider vinegar and lemon water, right under the microscope to see what the science actually has to say.
So, let's just get right to it with the question that's probably on your mind. In our search for that quick fix, our feeds are just flooded with people swearing that their secret is a morning glass of apple cider vinegar or some lemon water. But is there any real truth to all that hype?
Okay, but before we even talk about the drinks, let's be real about what we're actually talking about here. Belly fat. And we're talking specifically about that visceral fat that's packed around your organs. It isn't just about how you look. It's directly tied to some pretty serious health risks, like heart disease and type 2 diabetes. So wanting to reduce it makes perfect sense.
And that brings us to our two big challengers. They're simple, they're natural, and they've been hyped up everywhere as the secret weapon you need to get lean.
So in one corner, we've got apple cider vinegar, or ACV as everyone calls it, and in the other corner, good old lemon water. Now, both are praised because they're so easy to add to your day, but the claims about how they work are actually pretty different.
So what's the logic? I mean, how are these two super simple kitchen staples supposed to have such a huge effect on our bodies? Let's break down the supposed science behind each one.
First up, apple cider vinegar. To get why people are so into it, you have to know about its star ingredient, acetic acid. This is the stuff that gives vinegar that sharp taste and, that really potent smell. It's where basically all of the health claims come from.
And this is how ACV is said to work its magic. The main theory is that the acetic acid helps you feel fuller, which, might lead you to eat less overall. It also seems to help manage your blood sugar, especially after you've had a bunch of carbs, and that can really help tame those cravings that always seem to pop up at the worst times.
Now, lemon water, that's a whole different ballgame. Its biggest no-questions-asked benefit is hydration. And staying hydrated is absolutely essential for your metabolism to work right. On top of that, lemons give you a nice dose of vitamin C, and some studies suggest that can help your body burn a little more fat when you exercise. And hey, a lot of people just feel like it helps with digestion and bloating.
Okay, so let's get to the reality check. How do these claims actually hold up when you look at the evidence? Because, claims are one thing, but what does the research really say?
And this quote right here, it just cuts straight through all the noise. Let's be perfectly clear. Neither one of these drinks is some kind of magic potion that's going to target and just incinerate belly fat. Sure, they might support your weight management goals, but they are not the solution all by themselves. Not even close.
With that said, if we absolutely had to pick a winner based on the pretty limited research we have, ACV seems to have a slight edge, and I mean really slight. This is basically all because of what a few small studies have shown about acetic acid's effect on appetite and blood sugar.
But wait, that is not the whole story. Thinking these drinks are just harmless, healthy habits could actually be a pretty big mistake. There's a really critical downside that you almost never hear about on those wellness blogs.
And that brings us to the most important question of all. I mean, we're talking about drinking highly acidic stuff every single day. So you have to ask, is it completely harmless?
And right here on this slide, this is the crucial point. An in vitro study, meaning in a lab, looked at what happens when you soak actual human teeth in these drinks. And the results? They're pretty shocking. With a pH between 3.5 and 3.7, both regular and apple cider vinegar caused severe surface damage. They described it as a chalky or sandstone appearance. Even lemon juice, which is a bit less acidic, still caused moderate damage.
And this is a really big deal, you guys. Your tooth enamel does not grow back. Once it's gone, it is gone for good. Daily exposure to this kind of acid can permanently weaken your teeth. We're talking sensitivity, discoloration, and a whole lot more cavities.
Oh, and the risks don't just stop with your teeth. That high acidity can also really irritate your esophagus and your stomach, especially if you're already someone who deals with acid reflux. And on top of all that, ACV can potentially mess with certain medications, like diuretics or insulin, and it might even make low potassium levels worse. So, if these so-called miracle drinks aren't the answer, then what is? I think we all kind of know, deep down, that there really are no shortcuts when it comes to long-term health.
The real way to manage your weight and reduce that dangerous visceral fat is built on these 4 pillars. It's the boring but true stuff: a balanced diet full of whole foods, regular exercise you actually enjoy, getting enough good quality sleep, and finding healthy ways to handle stress. These are the things that create real lasting change.
And really, this is the main takeaway. Look, If you enjoy some lemon in your water because it helps you stay hydrated, great. Or if you use a little diluted ACV in a salad dressing, fine. But you have to see them for what they are. They are very, very minor players in your overall health strategy. They are not the star of the show.
And that leaves us with this one last question to really think about. When you weigh the tiny, maybe sort of potential boost against the very real and permanent risk of dental damage and all the other side effects, you've got to ask yourself, is this hack really worth it?